Alright, this is going to be a quick update for the moving platforms and elevators product on Fab. So there was two little bugs that popped up. One of them was not being able to use the triggers that call the platforms back and forth, like this right here. More than once, you would use it and then you couldn't use it again. And that's because I forgot to add a reset for the do once node. So let's hop in and fix that. So if you go into the moving platforms and then blueprints and then open up the parent moving platform BP, looks like this. What you want to do is you want to come down to the bottom where it says update return buttons and come over here to the very far end and just call this event right here called reset return buttons. And do it both of these right after the set text, and there you go. And you can also, you'll see it, I'll have it updated with a thing here, so you can search for update 1.1 if you want to like download the newest version and just copy and paste things in or whatever. So that's the fix for that, and then the other fix is for moving platforms, say that are set to start automatically. So like this one I set to start automatically, and it's a slow moving one, like 44 seconds to get from here to there. And what will happen is a player will join in, this platform starts moving by itself, but then another person, say, joins late or loads into the game late or joins mid-session, and he won't see the platform in the same spot on the initial move because he joined in late. It'll be in a different spot, which you don't want things to look out of sync. So we're going to fix that. So what you want to do is you just want to make a new variable called start time is what I called it. It's a float, and set it to replicated, and I just set the default value to something like -11, -5. It could be anything. I set it to -11. And what you're going to do is you're going to find this move forward event, and you're going to just, after the delay, you're going to do a switch has authority. You're going to get time seconds, set this new variable, and then plug straight into the move. And then same on the remote, we'll just skip the set part. It'll just go around it, go straight into the move. And same for the move backwards, same exact thing. And they all plug into the move. So once you have that, then you have to come to the event begin play, and on the right hand side where it says start automatically true, you want to do a switch has authority, and on the authority pin just do a move forward, call this event, and on the remote is where we're going to have to make this I made a new function called resync late joiners, and if you open it up it actually has the logic inside. I could walk through it, but basically you could just copy and paste this function, like right here. You can just copy it. If you had a new project, or if you added this to another project, you could copy it to your existing one, paste it in, or you could recreate it yourself. But basically you call that, and then you do another move component too. Make sure you have the pivot point plugged in here. You have the select node with the platform is at end point, starting point, plugs in break the transform, plug it in here, and then we have to have a new variable here called remaining time. I called it remaining time late joiner. You can call it whatever you want, but basically the time remaining for the late joiner. So if the platform's moved, if the platform takes 10 seconds to move and you join in 5 seconds late, that means there's only 5 seconds left for it to move. So when you join in the game late, you need this to be 5 seconds, not 10 seconds like it was, if that even makes sense to you. So hopefully you got all that. Let's go in here. The last thing is to just set up this logic for the late resync for late joiners. So what I did was I made these temporary variables. One temp, it's down here at the bottom on the local variable. You click the button down here. I made one called temp client start time, and I made one called temp elapsed time, and I believe that's the only new variables there are. So you can see what I did here. You can pause the video if you need to, but you just get the time, set that temp client start time. You take this minus the start time, and I added a buffer of 1 to it just because of network lag and latency. That smooths it out pretty good, makes it look like it's in the exact similar spot as the server. Set that here. Then you want to clamp it between 0 and the move time. You want to take the move time minus this clamped value to set the remaining time late for the late joiner. And then you want to take this clamp value, divide by the move time, and that will plug into a lerp for a vector down here in the alpha, and also a lerp for the vector for a rotator. And basically you could just do this part once, and then, well, you got to do it twice, but you could do it and copy and paste it and then just flip these values. So this one, when you're moving forward, you have the starting point transform up and then on top, and the end point on the bottom, and then when you're moving backwards, you have the end point, and then on top, the starting point on the bottom. And these are transforms, so you drag these in like this, and then you can just right click and split the struct. And you may be wondering, why don't you just lerp the transform? You have to split it and do it as an actual vector and a rotator for it to give it the right positions. I'm not exactly sure why. I did try lerping the transform like this, lerp, and it didn't work. So, I mean, it'll run, you don't get any errors, but it doesn't actually sync it up like it's supposed to. You have to actually do the vector and the rotator here. So once you plug that in, like starting transform goes into A, end transform goes into B, or the end location goes into B. Same with the rotation. Those you can then drag off of this and say make transform, or you can drag off of this and say make transform, and then just connect them all up. And I just connected this. You connect the scale of the bottom pin of the bottom scale here, and that plugs into this. Get the pivot point, set the relative transform, make sure you check the box for teleport, and that is all off of the faults tab or faults pin for the is platform at the end point. And then off of the true, you can see it's just the same as this one. I just copy and pasted it over here off for the true pin, and it's connected down here to the same exact thing, only I just flipped this and this. End point is on the top, starting point's on the bottom. And you may be wondering, like, what the heck does that even mean? Basically, it's just the direction that the platform's going in. So, like, if this thing is moving from right here up, then you want to make sure if a late joiner joins in that he updates the platform to the right spot where it's at, and that it's also moving in the right direction, which would be up. Or if he joins in, say, a minute late and the platform's on its way back down, that the platform will teleport to the correct spot and then actually move down like it's supposed to, not move up. And that way everything will keep it in sync, and your platforms and elevators and all that will work even if people join in the game or load in the game late. So I hope that helps. And if you have trouble setting this all up, you can always just go to Fab once this is published as an update, and you can just update it in your Epic Games Vault and either add it to a new project and move it over here, or if you haven't changed anything in your existing project, you can override it. But just make sure you back anything up and don't overwrite something that you don't want it to be deleted. So I hope that helps. Sorry for the little bugs, but I didn't know they were here. A nice user off on the Discord actually found it, let me know, and I looked into it, and sure enough, 2 little bugs here, so I fixed them. And I hope that helps, and thanks. I'll see you around.